Millennium Challenge Account-Liberia provides support for the setting up and operation of gender and social inclusion units within the Ministries of Public Works, Mines and Energy and the Liberia Legislature Corporation. The setting up and support for the operations of the units is in line with the Millennium Challenge Compact objective to ensure that compact project benefits, meaning electricity and roads, reach disadvantaged groups including poor women, or affected people and people with disabilities. You heard we talk about Dr. Banard already. President Weah announced during his State of the Nation address recently that the government would build on the MCA-L example and support to expand the units in all government ministries and agencies. Where we want to look at the gender and social inclusion and what is it all about, why is it important, and other issues. Dr. Puchu Banard is already here. She's our guest on this segment of the show. Dr. Banard would like to say good morning. It's good to have you this morning.
Good morning, and thank you for having me.
How are things? How are things at the MCA with reference to the particular job you do?
I'm housed at the Ministry of Gender. But currently, because of the move, and so forth, I have stayed between among the different entities that are implementing the gender and social inclusion efforts, and so I go to Public Works, to Mines and Energy, and to LEC. And LEC, of course, was the first to form their gender and social inclusion unit, with the blessing, as you might say, of the management, because you have to include it in, have the management included so that this can really work for the support and so forth. They were signed their policy since November 2018, and so they are way ahead of the others. So, but the other institutions have prepared their policies, their work plans, and so forth, and they have already started carrying out certain activities. Mainly, first of all, gender awareness. You have to go and explain to people, first of all, in the institution, what gender awareness is. Because when you say gender, it's just say women, But no, you're talking about the men also, the vulnerable, the disadvantaged, marginalized, and so also. Because eventually this will go out into the communities and into the villages, and most of these institutions, the implementing institutions, have substations, and so they have to go there also to train these people, because what you want is to include the women or the vulnerable into this program, because then if they're trained and they explain, and they can work harder, and eventually the productivity, everybody is like all hands on deck, and you can work better so that you have the productivity of the institution improve. And this is the goal of the Millennium Challenge, to have to reduce poverty and improve through economic growth. So if everybody's working together, you will have a lot of a lot of difference there, so that you will notice the difference at least, and eventually you have the poverty reduction part of it that will come to fore. But currently the activities that they're carrying out, they have as I said, the awareness programs that they're carrying out within the institution. First of all, beginning with management, because you have to have the support of management, and that gets the political will. And I'm glad the president mentioned this, because then you will have political will to carry on this, and it will really improve the economic growth really of Liberia eventually. You had a program before where they had gender focal points in all of the ministries, and this was part of the National Gender Forum, and somehow it hasn't been, they haven't really gone ahead with that for now, because they have found that it's better to get a group. So this is why these units were established, because you have just one person in the ministry. It's difficult for one person to go and convince people in the ministry. So it's better when you have a unit where you have several members. And so this is what we find, that this is improving a lot. And the LEC, for example, has established a female workers association, and they have their own strategic mandates that they need to improve the welfare of women and to empower them. Was empower because a female, take for example, if a woman wants to, if you have a job application, you know, and you have of course everybody trying to apply for that, both men and women and so forth. The female can come to the gender unit and get some advice, some coaching if you like, before going to the interview, at least so she can come out better. So at least you will stand a better chance of getting that job. And although you have also affirmative action, yes, that they try to encourage more women to apply for various positions and things, so that women will become more active in their participation in their institutions, in their communities, and so forth. And this is what we're trying to do all over. Currently, the with mainly the Ministry of Gender and Social Inclusion, which is responsible for gender issues and to guide these, but also they have included these other institutions that are connected to the Energy and Roads Project, which are of course the LEC, the Mines and Energy, and Public Works. And MCA is providing support. Some of the support was, there was a consultant before me actually, and then I came in to carry on the support, and they're also providing equipment and furniture and so forth for these different units, to at least so that it's easier for them to work with, because currently it's difficult to get these things. Each ministry, they have their budget, and probably at the time these units are formed, they were not in the budget, not planned. So MCA has stepped in at least to provide certain things, you know, in support of these institutions. And I'm visiting these institutions every week. I go around and around and around. They call me if they need me to come for something, or I go there and say, okay, we need to look at this and so forth. But they have their work plans, okay? And the work plans include, okay, eventually when they are done with their institution, then they move out to the public, where they would talk to the people at different groups of people. But in speaking to these people, usually we try to target certain groups based on their status, their background, their age, their vulnerability and so forth, to help to improve them. You're not just going to tell them, oh, awareness, gender, and so forth. But how can you have to look at how you can help them? So you design a small program to see how you can help them to improve their lives, their situation. Actually, so this is what we've been doing thus far. You have, I don't know if you talked about when the compact was formed. That was in October 2015, when the Government of Liberia signed a compact with the Government of the United States through the Millennium Challenge Corporation to receive the grant provided by the United States. And the goal of the compact is to reduce poverty through economic growth. And the economic growth, so this is how we found you have to get everybody to participate so that you can see the difference. You will have the economic if you can get better participation of people, and the participation in things that concern them, that will benefit them. Okay, so this is why the FCA is supporting this, and we're trying to at least move out into the communities now. Because I talk about awareness in the offices. People don't live in the offices, they live in communities. So when they get this training, they can go back into their communities and explain to people if they're, their problems and so forth. They can help there. And also, if you have gender issues, they can be reported to these units so that they can try in the best way they can to solve these gender issues. So this is why it's good to have these gender units in across government, all the institutions actually.
Oh, okay. So yes, then it was bringing me to the next point. I wanted to know specifically, I know this thing is set up at particular places. What are the work done within these units?
The work that's done, as I said, they have their work plan.
Okay.
Okay, and they go right now, most of them, because they just started out last year. Mm-hmm. They have gone across their central offices and so forth, people that are in their central offices, and they also now have gone to the substations and so forth. Okay, to first of all, you can't just go to people and say gender, so they have to go and explain what is gender, what are the benefits, that you will get, and the benefits are you have improvement. Okay, you have improvement in your lifestyle. You will have empowerment of the women who can participate, and you need the women to participate at least so you can have better productivity. And you have these things. So we look at all of these things, and we are training these people. The 4 institutions. Well, Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection has a mandate to support gender issues and so forth. But we go across so that these other institutions will also help in the training with the other ministries, which we hope to add on very soon. But the coordination, actually, the Ministry of Gender will coordinate between the institutions and whatnot. When MCA is no longer there, they will be responsible for the coordination between the different institutions, and also to ensure that the gender and social inclusion units are formed properly, that you have people like directors and so forth, at least who are in the unit, who have the capability to at least address certain problems that may come up when you have talking about gender issues. Okay, so this is what it is. And also you have to encourage the unit, the members of the unit, to at least to want to do these things, because we do have people with a lackadaisical attitude, but I found actually when I went to public works, they were very enthusiastic. Really, I gotta say, really, I always say you can't praise white chicken, but they're really enthusiastic. And when they have an assignment to do, they will sit around. They didn't have the equipment at the time. Sit around one computer. Everybody say, okay, I will do this part. I will do that part. I'll do the gender disaggregated, data. I'll take that. And so I watched them, and really, I was pleased to see that there was so much enthusiasm, and they were so willing to do the work. So I think this we need to spread this enthusiasm, so that it will know, so that this at least we can accomplish far more, like this. But if it's slow, the ones that are slower, to encourage them, say, okay, we can do this, and so I'm there more often. The ones that are, if they have problems, call me anytime, and I will come, even if it's just for an hour or so. Sometimes I go and spend the whole day there, But so that at least we can move forward with this, because it's something we're targeting the entire government, all the government institutions, and so forth. And eventually, I guess we will go to the private institutions too, so that for Liberia, so this will be a great improvement, in productivity and in poverty reduction, economic growth, and so forth. But this is how we decide, to go to take these 4 institutions and target them, so that at least they can know exactly, what to do and how to move forward.
Okay. Dr. Banard, you've spoken too much about the successes, about availability of the people and the enthusiasm they're, expressing when you go to, facilitate or mobilize them to do what they should do. What are some of the difficulties, or challenges faced within these units?
Well, in the beginning, you had the lack of the equipment, because we didn't get the equipment soon enough, and they're still trying to get more equipment in. And so it was difficult. And sometimes, the lone laptop that was there, still they still try to do the work, even with one lone laptop, they still try to do that work. But also, you notice, getting to, sometimes these people that are in the units, they have other functions in the institutions. Actually, most of them. And so sometimes they're assigned somewhere else, and they have to go for that assignment. And so we have to make do with people that are there, and make sure that the rest of the members can catch up or understand that, okay, this is what we did and this is what we need to catch up on, and so forth. How can we move forward? And also, going to the institutions that, I don't want to say which one, whatever, but difficult. They have assigned a gender unit office and so forth, but sometimes it's difficult to get there, to get to the office. So having gone there 2 or 3 times, I just tell them, okay, when we meet, we're going to meet in this person's office because it's easier, and then we can do better work there, because it's difficult to get to the office that has been assigned to them. And so at least, nobody has complained about that, at least it was agreed, and at least we were able to accomplish more that way. because we didn't have to bear the circumstances, the surrounding environment, and so forth. Okay.
Are these people, receiving any support from their leadership within the ministries and agencies from what you've been seeing?
Yes, they are. In fact, a couple of times the assistant minister or deputy minister have assisted in our meetings, the workshops and so forth that we're doing. So a couple of times they came down, and assisted maybe for an hour before they had to go off to do their work, of course. So you have the support, really. The only thing, the policy is prepared, the work plans prepared, and although some of the policies have not been officially signed, but the work continues, the work goes on, because we know they approve anyway. It's like they're busy here, there, and so forth. And so they haven't been able to, actually officially sign these policies, but they agree. As I say, in principle, sometimes they come and assist, in our meetings and so forth. So they agree to it.
Now, you are an expert in this area. All these good things you're doing with these three, ministries, as far as gender issues are concerned, it's only because, Millennium Challenge is around. I'm just thinking in terms of sustainability, Dr. Banard, what measures of sustainability should be put into place when the compact is over, for example, so that these things will continue to move on? What do you think?
Well, because of the training and capacity building, we do expect to go into all of the other institutions. Millennium Challenge is probably over in a year or so, but in that time we can accomplish much by at least starting off with the proposal of policy and so forth in other institutions. We can't do many at once, but we can start off maybe with another 4 or 5, at least. So eventually this will move, and Ministry of Gender will take over in putting together these units, in the different institutions, because they are the driving force it's supposed to be the driving force and the coordinators among the different gender and social inclusion units. So this is how it will continue, because before, as I said, there was a focal person in all of the ministries, and that was the work of the Ministry of Gender and Children and Social Protection. So they will continue in this line to get the other ministries to put together their gender and social inclusion units, so that the work can be continued and be done even after Millennium Challenge is not there.
So, how is the GSIU responding to gender-based issues as it relates to access to electricity for women, disadvantaged, and people and SMEs?
Well, of course, when you talk about electricity, you're talking LEC. Okay,
yeah.
So they have a gender and social. They call themselves Gender and Social Department at LEC. So to show you now, they have a bigger picture of everything. And so with the coordination of the Ministry of Gender and so at LEC, when they go out, and when there's a problem, especially for the women and so forth, they go out into the community, because it's a community that they have a problem with electricity and so forth. They go into the community to find out what the problem is. They approach their management and so forth. So at least this can be solved to make sure that they do get electricity and so forth. And generally, the Millennium Challenge is working towards affordable and accessible electricity, power, and energy, actually. So this is why, it will be easier, but you have, for example, gender issues and this sort of thing that is affecting the people, it will be handled by the gender and social inclusion units. So this is why they can come to them and ask, anytime they're available, anytime. There's always 1 or 2 people there available, so that you can approach them and say, okay, we're having this problem, and then they know where to go to try to solve it.
All right, that's the next place I was coming about. So you're working with these people, like I said, the MCAL will not be here for long. What are your recommendations going forward? What do you see?
My recommendations are to ensure that the work and the training that these few gender and social inclusion units have received will continue, because if it continues, then at least you'll be able to help others, in their formation, in their capacity building, and so forth. Because MCA goes, I'll probably go myself, so, but if I'm around, I don't mind giving you a little bit of advice, free. I don't mind, but this is what I think that needs to happen, because the training that they're receiving now, I think it will go far, a long way, in helping the other institutions to form their general social inclusion units and go through the same process as these three have gone through already, and to have the same work plan, action plans that the three have also. So I think with that, and you have not only gender coordinating, Ministry of Gender coordinating, but you have the other institutions that can help the others. And I always say to LEC, oh, because you're SOE, that you can help the other SOEs more easily, especially with the energy. So and they're encouraged to do that. So I think this is something that will go, because just like the gender focal person program that they had before, that really continues, I think this can continue also. And you have more than one member there, so that at least you can't say, oh, nobody's there anymore, we're not paying attention, and so forth. But you have more than one person to help. And everybody in that unit is trained to do some help, to give some help if as necessary. So that's what we're doing.
So, working with these women, I heard you talking about the establishment of a female worker association in one of the places. Are the women actually just overly shy, or they don't have somebody to push them? And as you begin pushing them, do you see that they want to move ahead? Or they just by nature overly shy?
Actually, you say by nature, but this female worker association, I don't say they're shy because they're moving forward, training women, empowering, and as I said, if they find that women, for example, that need help with their training and so forth, and as I said, they're looking for a job, and they can be coached, at least so that when they go to the interview, they don't fall down, at it. So at least so that will be on the same on par with the men who will come for the same interview, And then you have the affirmative action. Yes, okay, the women have done well. So let's see, they can do that. I think now, I'm not sure. At least they were telling me that they have the women. A couple of women, I think, able to climb the poles now to do, so you have these people doing this work. It depends where they are. They're not only supposed to be in the home, cooking and taking care of that and whatnot. They can go out and become breadwinners just like that. It's not only the men that are supposed to be the breadwinners of the family. They can do their part too. So at least you encourage them so that they're not shy and so forth. And if they're shy, you have to bring them out of that shyness. And the unit can do that. So this is how we're encouraging them to do it.
So what do you say for the benefit of the people who are listening to you, especially some of them maybe listening to you in the ministries and agencies, before we open the telephone lines?
Well, gender awareness. You need to become aware that when we say gender awareness, it's not just women, but we are also targeting the vulnerable, the disadvantaged, and also the men. It's for women and men so that they're on par. There's equality, so they have equality in receiving access to the benefits and resources that are available to the institution, to the community, and so forth. So that at least they will have the power to know, okay, I can do this. And also you have some men also, you have men that are shy too. They can manage, but they can ask for training. They can come to gender. You have men in the gender units, actually. So it's not to say all women there, only women affairs and so forth. No, you have men there too. And I must say you have sometimes men also need their coaching and whatnot. And because they're vulnerable, so we help them too, where it's necessary.
Okay, Dr. Puchu Banard is here. She's the technical assistant at the MCA-L. She's helping to provide support for 3 gender units set up at ministries and the Liberia Legislature Corporation. Let's talk to a few callers now. Hello?
Good morning.
Good morning. What's your name?
And let me say good morning to you, Clarence, and again. My name is Father C, and this morning I called from Ministry of Public Works.
Yeah?
And I'd like to salute your video guest. Very, very exclusive and explicit as we went to the issue. But I have a start, and I have one incentive we have related to this gender issue. I mean, one of the people who are propagating, they are often have passion to spread the message, but one of those who are propagating the gender issue, they are all females. And they're not
You want to say something? Yeah, go ahead.
Well, actually, we are. When we say gender, you're talking about women and men, okay? But for the most part, men are ahead of them. So those men that are left behind,
So you're
yes,
focusing on women too
yes, that, not too much. I won't say too much, but those men that are left behind, we plan to take care of them too. Every unit that we have, every unit that's set up has men in it. Actually,
Okay.
every unit has men in it. So we haven't left them out, you know. And there's no way they can say all women. No, that's not true. So this is what has happened. So we do plan to take care of the problems, also the gender issues that men may have, as far as not being able to access their resources or benefits and so forth that they're supposed to. Okay, we also will take care of that.
Good morning.
My name is Isaac from Pursuant.
All right, Isaac, go ahead.
Thank you. I want to appreciate the video there. And with the program, what you say is a very fun one. But I would really want them to not only, for most of what she has said, but then only RSMP bills, and let us also look at the social welfare, that is people living with disability. As a matter of fact, I'm a visually impaired person, and look at the program, I think as disabled people, we should be fully involved. Now, she's talking about training that is ongoing. We then have the National Legislature organization of the disabled that is very about disabled persons. Are they also aware about this program to benefit not only gender, because most of what she's saying is only based on gender.
Okay.
The social welfare aspect, that is the vulnerable, disabled, we are not here looking major about it, and coming to the aspect of fulfilling from the ministry that is responsible for it.
Are you also aware that the program has a focus and she's working with two ministries and the LEC, and that's just generally, women issues and people with disability?
Yes, but I mean, most of what she has said, as I mentioned, just based on women issues.
Okay.
That's what I mentioned.
All right, thank you. She
Okay.
wants to respond.
Let me say that.
Thank
Okay,
you.
in the work plan, the activities that they have planned, they will also reach out to vulnerable and disabled people. Actually, it's just that this is a beginning, and the training, they have to be properly trained so that they can know how to handle these things. But actually, go out to the vulnerable and disabled people, and also they will be in contact with other, for example, other donor agencies and so forth, so that where it's necessary to partner with other donor agencies to help, for example, the vulnerable people, they will do that too, because that is part of the mandate of the general social inclusion units. They will do that too, where it's necessary. Not just leave this person aside, no, but they will try to help them in any way that they can, because they also have to do research, not just sit down and listen for training. They have to do research themselves. So in doing research, they will also come across different institutions, donor institutions that at least can help these people, and so they will try to get that, to at least see that these people at least can get some assistance in that area,
Okay,
and empowerment in that area.
Let's get another caller. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. What's your name?
And let me say good morning to you, Clarence, and your studio again. My name is Father C, and this morning I called from Minister of Public Works.
Yeah.
And I'd like to salute your studio guest. Very, very exclusive and explicit as we went to the issue. But I have a slack, and I have one sentence here related to this gender issue. I mean, one of the people who are propagating, they are also now have passion to spread the message, but one of those who are propagating the gender issue, they are all females. And they're talking
All right. Now you want to say something? Yeah, go ahead.
Well, actually we are, when we say gender, you're talking about women and men, okay? But for the most part, men are ahead of them. So those men that are left behind,
So you're
yes,
focusing on women too
yes, that, not too much. I won't say too much, but those men that are left behind, we plan to take care of them too. Every unit that we have, every unit that's set up has men in it. Actually,
Okay.
every unit has men in it. So we haven't left them out, you know. And there's no way they can say all women. No, that's not true. Yeah.
Dr. Banard, I'd like to say thank you so much for coming this morning.
You're welcome.
It's always a pleasure, and we hope through the MCA we can get you here again to talk about some of the progress, at least after some time. But it was good having you this morning.
Thank you very much.
Dr. Puchu Banard is the technical assistant hired by the MCA-L to help provide support to the free gender unit setup in the Ministry of Public Works, Lands, Mines and Energy and the LEC. She was here talking about gender issues, and I didn't know they got female workers association being set up in some other places now. I mean, that's good for the process. Everything can be men. And sometimes with the men, we tend to say, well, everything can be woman. But Dr. Banard said gender issues are not just about women, they're also about men. Thank you so much. God's willing, tomorrow morning we'll be back here with another presentation. Until that time, we're leaving you in the hands of Julie Andy.
Thank you.